You'll likely have to pay to park in Wichita's Old Town. This comes after the City Council rejected a public hearing for a special tax district in the area.
Keenan Penn was at the City Council today and explains what led to the decision.
Mike, Rachel, one of the main focuses in today's Wichita City Council meeting was surrounding that paid parking and whether or not the city is going to implement that 2% sales tax for businesses in that area. Today, a proposal for a public hearing on the city improvement plan was presented before the council. Wichita policy stating that petitions for these kinds of matters require 100% support from the property owners within the area, while the state only requires 50%. Members of the Wichita City Council challenged part of the city improvement district proposal. Some people in attendance said that the constant delays of the paid parking is one that hurts local businesses in the area.
And right now, as a city, and it seems to me as a council, we're making it very difficult for businesses to make the decisions that they think they need to make, and we're basing those decisions on uninformed commentary. And I think that we're spending a lot of time kicking the can down the road just because nobody wants to make a decision.
The Wichita City Council today expressing that they were not in support of the item. This new paid parking plan is expected to start on July 1st, 2025, and the city said it plans to begin a soft launch in June 2025. I'm in Wichita, Keenan Penn, 12 News.